Welcome to Learn Short and Typing with Vikas Sir, the Hindu editorial. Second article, corrective voice. This article is completely related to Supreme Court, judiciary, and women empowerment. This article is saying कि जैसे वीमेन हमारी सोसाइटी में मैन एंड वीमेन की क्या इम्पोर्टेंस है, क्या उसकी स्टेट है, ठीक है। और इसमें जैसे सेक्सुअल के केसेस आते हैं, वो जैसे जुडिशरी सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ये बोला था कि भाई जो हम एक विक्टिम है, विक्टिम की शादी हम एक कल्प्रिट से कर सकते हैं, लेकिन एस बोबडे ने ये बोला है, चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया, कि ये हमारी जो मैंने ये बोला था, जैसे मीडिया ने या न्यूज़पेपर ने काफ़ी सारा क्रिटिसाइज़ किया है, ठीक है। ये आर्टिकल आपका कम्प्लीटली रिलेटेड है सुप्रीम कोर्ट। चलिए हम डिस्कस करते हैं। काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट आर्टिकल है ये आपका, इसलिए मैंने आपको डिस्कस करा हूँ, इसलिए आप इसमें काफ़ी न्यू वर्ड्स भी हैं। ओके, चलिए रेडी स्टार्ट। वाइल रिकॉग्नाइजिंग सोसाइटीज डीप rooted patriarchy and initiating a course correction in the way the judiciary itself views gender rights, the Supreme Court went back to Henry Ibsen, a playwright known for his feisty women characters who break free of traditions of familial confines and notion of social propriety, setting aside an absurd Rakhi for bail order of the Madhya Pradesh High Court to a sexual offender. The court issued a set of guidelines on March 18 to be followed by the judiciary while dealing with sexual crimes against women. The two-member bench of Justice A.M. Kwanlikar and S. Ravinder Bhatt used a quote from Ibsen to say that a woman cannot be herself in an exclusively masculine society with laws framed by men, and laid it down as a guiding force for all future judicial proclamation. The judiciary corrective voice is a welcome step in the aftermath of CGI S.A. Bobde's reported remark during a virtual hearing when he asked an alleged rapist lawyer to find out whether his client would marry the victim. The latter said he had been misquoted. The Kwanlikar Bhatt bench asked all courts to refrain from imposing marriage or mandate any compromise between a sex offender and his victim. Powerful men seem to be reiterating misogyny besides carelessly linking sexual crimes to women being alone at night or wearing clothes of their choice. Leaning on the Bangkok Journal guidance for judges on applying a gender perspective in Southeast Asia, the bench listed a host avoidable stereotypes. Women are physically weak, men are the head of the household and must make all the decisions related to family. Women should be submissive and obedient. Women are battling society's ingrained prejudices, and the judgment acknowledges this better reality, saying gender violence is most often surrounded in a culture of silence, pointing to the entrenched unequal power equations between men and women, including cultural and social norms, financial dependence, and poverty. It said data may not reflect the actual incidence of violence against women. It is not the first time the Supreme Court is claiming down against gender stereotyping. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, Secretary, Ministry of Defense versus Babita Punia, had argued against treating women in the army any differently from their men counterparts, for they worked as equal citizens in a common mission. And in Anuj Garg, the court had called out the notion of romantic paternalism as an attempt to put women in a cage to break the silence on bias against women. Everyone must take responsibility, especially institutions and those in important positions. The court's reiteration on where it needs to stand to women's rights is a move in the right direction, because the fight for gender equality is far from over. Full stop.